happen. But we have a song first anyway. So we have a song first anyway.
Go right
Before
ahead.
you even say hello.
That's good.
I am strong, I am vigorous, I am vibrantly alive, filled with hope, filled with joy, filled with love enough to pass love on. I am strong, I am vigorous, I am vibrantly alive, filled with hope, filled with joy, filled with love. You are strong, you are vigorous, you are vibrantly alive, filled with hope, filled with joy, filled with love enough to pass love on. You are strong, you are vigorous, you are vibrantly alive, filled with hope, filled with joy, filled with love. You are strong, we are vigorous, we are vibrantly alive, filled with hope, filled with joy, filled with love, pass love on. We are strong, we are vigorous, we are vibrantly alive, filled with hope, filled with joy, filled with love, filled with hope, filled with joy, filled with love, filled with hope, filled with joy, filled with love.
There you go. Thank you, Dina. Good morning, everybody. Pat likes to begin Reverend Pat is away on her second week of her annual vacation in the summertime. I am Reverend Matt Purington. I am here to cover for her, and we have Kim Cowperthwaite with our message today. So welcome. Pat likes to begin with the weather forecast, so it's gorgeous, which kind of explains our intimate gathering today. Welcome to all those online as we open today. And that was the song House Built on Love. No. Okay.
That was the prelude song, so
All
that's
right.
not
Okay,
on
good,
your
good.
order of
All
service.
right. So please join us as we sing.
House built on love.
There you go.
Please stand if you're inclined to. Come, let us gather together. This is a place of love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love. Come, let us gather in peace. This is a sacred space. We join our hearts here in one loving family. This is a house built on love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love.
You may be seated. So what I'm doing is called platforming, right? And so if you don't platform for a little bit, sometimes you're kind of rusty. But we have a platforming guru in Dina here. So don't worry, you're in good hands, even though Reverend Pat is not here this morning. Okay. So let's go ahead, slow our engines down and open in prayer. Oh, let's take a couple of deep breaths and center ourselves. Father, Mother God, we thank you for your presence in our lives always, always. Sometimes we forget, but that does not mean you are always right there, always in our lives, always present. And this morning, as we are here, and it's easier to be reminded of your presence in our lives, we bring our hearts to you. We bring our lives to you. And we thank you for your present love always. And in our lives, the people that are in our lives are our loved ones, our friends, our family, and people we're aware of. Anyone that would need an extra sort of awareness of your love, we extend that now. Extend that through our hearts as we are one with you. We extend that to them, knowing that even now, they would be able to sense your presence and your love in their lives. And whatever supply might be needed, we know that's also present in and with your presence of love. And we are so grateful, and we thank you so much. Amen. Well, that slowed my engines down. All right. So next we have our invocation, vision, mission, and core values. If you would, usually we stand. If you'd rather sit, you're welcome to sit, but please stand if you have a mind to. Invocation. Say it with me. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And vision statement. Centered in divine love, we celebrate a spiritually transformed world. And our mission statement. Unity Center for Spiritual Growth reaches in to reach out through education, service, and creation of community. And finally, last but not least, I've been here 10 years and I managed to mostly memorize these, but I'm not going to take the chance this morning. So core values. We are loving, we are accepting, we are authentic, we are transformative, we are soul-centric, we are compassionate, and we are welcoming. And that we are. Those, by the way, a few years ago, those are very intentional. A lot of work went into that. So we really, those pieces come from a centered, conscious place. Next we have, as you all remain standing, our congregational song.
Congregational song is Holy, Holy, Holy by Karen Drucker. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see.
Let's just take a second and breathe that in, that stillness from that music. And now we are at the welcoming portion of our service. So before I do this, I want anybody who's here for the first time, don't worry, we don't ask you to do anything. If this is your first time here, if you just raise your hands, we have a packet for you, that's all. Just raise your hands. Any of your first timers here? All right. Next, we have the foundation of unity, sort of our faith process. The five, oops. Oh. So Dina, it says welcome, then 5 basic principles.
Yeah, so the welcome includes namaste.
I knew that.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. See? That's why we have Dina. You're never alone up here. Okay. So, namaste. So, if you would please stand. We sing this through one time, and then the second time we sing it through, just greet your neighbor however you would. You can bow or just eye contact, just as a greeting song, just expressing our love for one another. The 5 basic principles. Phew, okay. So these are wonderful. These are, if you go to a different unity, you might see them worded a little bit differently, but the core is the same, all right? Our core sort of belief, and if you apply these, you'll find that your life has more peace, I promise. First one, God is good and everywhere present. All of us can pretty much, that's pretty easy for us. We believe that. The second one, the Spirit of God lives within each person, therefore all people are inherently good. This one can sometimes be a challenge, but it is true because we're all one. And what you're observing is behavior, right? You're observing, you maybe fear, but you're not observing the truth of the person themselves. It doesn't mean you do the normal things which you do, but you can see them in the truth of who they are, which is all people are inherently good. Number 3, we create our life experiences through our way of thinking. I think that's also one that's pretty easy to kind of accept and see sometimes when you're aware of your thoughts. Very important. But these are all intended to help you, to help that process, to help like rewire how you think when you need to. That's what these steps are for, partially. Number 4, there's power in affirmative prayer, which we believe increases our connection to God. Anything that you do that increases your awareness of your divinity, of your eternal truth, anything that does that, increasing your connection to your eternal truth, helps you in this reality. And number 5, knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them, which brings me to Reverend Pat's favorite part of the service, which is where I ask Anyone would like to share in this past week where they have had an example of applying these principles and your experience? Carmela, want me to bring it down to you? Or yeah,
Thanks.
make it easy.
Well, I wanted to share, this is about, just believing that what we think about and what we believe is what we get more of in our life. So yesterday, I was determined that I was going to get my hair trimmed, and there's a particular place I like to go to in Falmouth. Well, I went to Freeport first, so I didn't notice that there were no traffic lights working in Falmouth, and that there were a lot of places that weren't working because they didn't have power there, and I didn't know that, and they didn't have power in other towns surrounding them. So I walked in there, she told me, come at 2:15 and we'll be able to fit you in to get your hair cut. So I walked in, and they're both very experienced stylists, and I didn't have any qualm at all about letting them, they have windows, there was lots of light going into this hair studio, and I just said, sure, because I was just having her trim it, and all she really needed to do was spray it down. And it was great. It was just the three of us in there, and we had a nice time, and we were saying a prayer that the power would come back, because I guess they heard also parts of Wyndham didn't have it. But it just worked out perfectly. So when you don't stress about things, you just let them happen and go with the flow, they all work out.
There you go. I'll go here's well.
Good morning, everybody. I rarely do this. This is a risk, but I had a work challenge about 6 years ago, and I took the bull by the horns, and I didn't invite God in, and it didn't go well. And I had a recent work challenge at my current employer, and I got a lot of encouragement to lean into God and trust, don't try to control it. And I really respected the woman I had conflict with. So I led with that, and I just let it go and practiced principle 1, basically. And it was very smooth, and we came to a common agreement, and it was so different. I'm just so grateful for the encouragement to trust in my higher power, God.
That's a great thing to share. Thank you. Anyone else like to share this morning? Going once. Okay, there we go. Nancy.
Morning, everybody. Not just for this week, during which I had some health testing done, but since I have joined Unity and started coming here regularly and so forth, I've been going through health challenges, and I found out that there's a new one that has presented itself. But you know what? I've put all the principles to good use. I'm not afraid. I'm not worried. When I start feeling a little bit anxious, I tap. But also bringing forth the principles and living them. When I start feeling myself getting edgy, I know where I can go. And so I have been. So I thank everybody.
Thank you. So somebody raising their hand and, okay, that's okay. Should I miss anybody? So you see why it's so important, though, why we do that? Because it's really important that we hear just regular people like all of us applying these and how they work, because they do work. So thank you. All right, so next we have Jim Stabler with the Daily Word. Let's get this ready for Jim. Here you go, good sir. Morning.
Good morning. Sunday, August 20th. Understanding. With understanding, my spirit is always cool. One of the best ways to remain calm in any agitating circumstance is to practice understanding. Seeking to understand gives me information and insight and eases my reacting. It keeps my emotional thermostat dialed down if I am tempted to lose my cool. Perhaps poet Rudyard Kipling was referring to understanding in his poem If, when he wrote of the importance of, quote, keeping your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, unquote. Properly mastered, my power of understanding gives me the strength and presence of mind to be a beacon in times of trouble and in crisis. Whatever this day may bring, I will carry the light of understanding with me. I am cool in spirit. I am understanding. Proverbs, one who is cool in spirit has understanding.
Thank you, Jim. I think that's very perfect for Jim to read. All right. So now we have, in preparation for Kim's message, we have some special music.
To open up Kim's talk this morning, this is a song by David Ezel, Divine Energy.
Divine energy flows through me, leading my spirit, body, and soul. Divine energy flows through me, guiding my thoughts and making me whole. Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Divine energy flows through me, healing my thoughts and making me whole. Calm and quiet, strong and clear, the voice within me knows no fear. Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Calm and quiet, strong and clear, the voice within me knows no fear. Divine energy flows through me, leading my spirit, body, and soul. Divine energy flows through me, healing my thoughts and making me whole. Healing my spirit, making me whole.
Whoever's speaking on Sunday, she'll contact them about midweek and ask them their title. So her songs are never at random. So you hear that song, and then you'll hear Kim's wonderful message. So today we have Kim Cowperthwaite speaking. She is on the board here, has been a past board president. She's a teacher in her job. Anybody who's been here when she's platformed, she's excellent at platforming and speaking. So welcome, Kim Cowperthwaite.
My Yeti mug is my prop. So I've got to put it down. All right, well, good morning, everybody. The title of my talk is The Healing Power of the Yeti Mantra. The Healing Power of the Yeti Mantra. And my talk today is about healing. and I'm going to share with you my own story of healing through some unusual health challenges I have had in my lifetime, the physical part, as well as the spiritual and emotional part of healing. But first, I want to tell you how I came to understand my Yeti mantra, and I'll share with you what it is and how I applied it. So, Spirit talks to me in a strange way. God, Spirit, the universe, whatever you call that energy, somehow knows I am an English teacher, a writer, a linguistic-centered person, and I learn best through words, so I have to be communicated with through words. A few months ago, I was driving through traffic in Portland, and I was struggling in my mind as to what my talk title today was going to be. I knew that I wanted to share with you how I healed through these pretty unusual events that were very scary. And I knew that I wanted to tell you about what I did within my mind and my spirit to cope and heal. But I was having trouble putting it into words or finding a central idea that might make sense to you. So as I was driving through this stop-and-go traffic down Brighton Avenue, I directly asked Spirit to give me a central idea that would help me communicate what I had done to heal. And I was coming into a stop at a red light, and I reached down for my travel mug, and I went to take a sip, and the top flew off, and ice water dumped all down the front of me. The sudden cold took my breath away, and I thought it was odd because my travel mug is a Yeti brand, and I love them because they are built so well and they never leak. You probably have heard of them. They've been really popular over the last few years, and it has been like the it brand for kids in school to carry around. And they make mugs, travel mugs, and coolers. Well, as I waited at the stoplight, I looked over at a car over to the side in front of me and noticed a bumper sticker with the Yeti logo and their slogan, "Built for the Wild." I didn't think much more about it until I came to the next stoplight and started to slow down, and a car zipped in front of me and slammed on the brakes. I said unkind things out loud about the driver. And then I noticed a sticker on the back window of the car. The sticker featured a hairy Bigfoot creature with a backpack walking through the woods, and the Bigfoot was giving me the finger. And I thought, this car cut in front of me, causing me to slam my brakes on to avoid running into it, and now its Bigfoot is giving me the finger. And I said more unkind words aloud. Spirit did not abandon me, though, because the Bigfoot finger car eventually peeled off. I continued down the road until I came into another stoplight in front of me, and I kid you not, there was a car with another Bigfoot sticker on its rear window. This one was also strolling through the woods, but this one was smiling, wearing flower print bell-bottom pants and giving me a peace sign. And on this same car, there was another one of the Yeti brand stickers. And so then I put it all together. What Spirit was trying to say to me, the spill from my Yeti cup, the logo stickers, the Bigfoot, otherwise known as Yeti, what I call the creature Bigfoot. We commonly use the term Bigfoot in North America to describe these large, hairy, upright, walking, fabled creatures. But in Tibet, they are, of course, called Yeti. There are tales of them being sighted in the Himalayas. And by the way, I have read that Yeti can be translated to rocky place bear. And of course, we also have the Native American term Sasquatch. But once I had that word Yeti in my mind, I suddenly had that aha moment. I played with the idea of Yeti as the mysterious creature, as well as breaking the word apart. Yet I. So let's apply this now to healing as I share my story with you. So when I was 18 years old, I had a stroke. Nobody knew what caused it. I awoke in the middle of the night with a massive headache, unable to move half my body. My speech was garbled, this side of my face drooped. My father got me right away into the emergency department of Yale New Haven Hospital in Connecticut, where I am from, and all the appropriate interventions were done. Brain scans, EEGs, medications, observations. There's a lot that's blurry in my memory of this time over the course of a couple days. I knew I had a first-rate medical team caring for me, but even they seemed confused as to what was going on. Because within a couple days, all of my symptoms had disappeared with no lasting damage. What appeared as a possible stroke on my tests no longer showed up. Like the mysterious Yeti, my symptoms had appeared and disappeared into the forest of the unknown. I was sent home with a year-long course of medications and follow-up visits and a tremendous amount of terror. If no one knew what caused the stroke, then no one could tell me whether or not it would happen again. In a few months, I had planned to be off to college, and I was now terrified to even leave the house. When I look back on my teenage self through this time and think, how did I pull through this? How did I move past it and heal? I can see that it was the beginning of me discovering my Yeti mantra. My mother brought me to a local yoga class, which is one place I felt safe going. My doctors instructed me not to invert or do anything that put pressure on my neck or head, but otherwise I was cleared to go. Yoga class was the first time I had experienced meditation, and at first it was hard because there was just a buzz of fear and trauma racing through my thoughts. Every time I tried to still my mind, the scenes from the hospital filled my mind, and this went on for a few sessions until one day something shifted. During meditation, I allowed myself to go into the fear and accept what happened to me as a mystery. My yoga instructor would say every session the words Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, peace, 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 live peace, know peace, become peace. And I would think, what happened to me was a mystery and scary, yet I healed and I am peace. It was my beginning understanding that I am in a physical body and sometimes things go wrong with it, yet I have a spirit that can find peace no matter what. Well, I did make it to college and through college and had no repercussions from the stroke. I met my husband, we married and had a daughter, followed by a son. I exercised, ate right, all was well within my body until it wasn't. At the age of 28, 10 years after my mystery stroke, my body suddenly developed ulcerative colitis and did so at super speed. I had gastroenterologists scratching their heads in a state of helplessness as every medication they gave me blew through my body, literally with no effect. My intestines were on a fast track of self-destruction. During this time, I immersed myself in my Yeti mantra. This is hard, yet I can be at peace as I cope with it. I began attending Unity right here and further learned about meditation and healing and learned that I am a child of God, that I am whole and holy, and that I could open a window for God's healing energy through affirmations. I also went to counseling, acupuncture, a nutritionist. I used crystal healing and continued my yoga practice. And though it all helped center me spiritually and emotionally, my body at that time was having none of it. Within 6 weeks of my diagnosis of ulcerative colitis, My intestines began hemorrhaging, and when no amount of steroids or immunosuppressants helped me, I was transported from Maine Medical down to Beth Israel Hospital in Boston for emergency surgery. I remember the ambulance ride down the highway to Boston and the EMTs talking and joking with me to keep my spirits up. But my mind kept circling back to fear. My daughter was only 3, and my son was just 1 year old, and I was filled once again with terror. This time, not just for myself, but at the thought that I was leaving my husband and children behind in Maine. My body was in shambles. I was down to 100 pounds by this point, and I looked like a skeleton. I continued with my Yeti mantra, but it began to feel like a whisper compared to my body's scream for help. And this one was a very long road to healing. On the physical level, I was very blessed with getting a top surgeon. He is British, and he told me in his oh-so-British style that I was in a very difficult situation indeed. You know it's bad when the British say that. But that he was going to fix me and get me through it. And he did. He had to remove my entire large intestines, and he resectioned my small intestines so that I would not end up with a colostomy bag. And it was a surgery that he had developed and he was an expert on. It took me a couple surgeries, a month in the hospital, a couple back and forths to Boston, followed by a year of regaining my strength. It took me a whole year to get stronger, gain my weight. Yet I healed. Once again, I had to dive deeply into my mantra, the fear, the trauma, the anger at my body at times for betraying me, and disappointment at my surgical scars, and the questions cycling in my mind, why did this happen to me? As with the stroke, no explanation, no one knows why some people develop ulcerative colitis and why my case took such an uncommon and rapid turn. With my emotions and my mind spinning again, I started the mantra, first with a whisper and then louder. I have been through this physical ordeal, yet I am well. Yet I am peace. Yet I am whole. Yet I am, in this moment, healed. It took a few years, but I got to a place where the fear eventually dissolved and I did completely heal. Excellent medical care started me on the road to healing, and I believe my active role using the mantra brought me to a place of total healing. I have experienced no problem since with my digestive tract. Well, I thought that that was quite enough for my body to handle in one lifetime, and I moved forward with gratitude. Over the next 18 years, my children grew and moved into their adult selves. I felt deep gratitude for every day of my life. I continued to exercise, ate organic foods, had a healthy body weight, low cholesterol, low blood pressure, healthy checkups, and I chugged along like this until, boom, here we go again. Life-threatening and mysterious medical event number 3. And this one was a doozy. I was minding my own business. I skipped a line here. I had a major heart attack at the age of 47. I was minding my own business, making a pot of homemade vegetarian chili, when I got a strange sensation in my chest, like I had to burp, pain radiating down my left arm and along my jaw, and a feeling like my throat was closing up. My son, the scientist who was home from college at the time, straight out told me, "Mom, those are symptoms of a heart attack." My husband said I looked completely gray and got me in the car. We flew to Maine Medical. The whole time I thought I was perhaps having an allergic reaction to the peppers I had diced up and put in the chili. Now, you may not know this, but when a person enters an emergency department having a heart attack, and when they put the leads on you to take the EKG, and the reading shows lines going up and down all over the place, things move quickly, and lots of people come at you, and they pull your clothes off. And I learned that it does not work so well if you argue with them. They told me I was having a heart attack. I told them they were wrong and demanded that they give me my bra and shirt back because I was going home. There was no way I was going through this again. They insisted that I had to go to the cardiac catheterization lab, and I told them to take my husband instead because he was the one with high cholesterol, but they weren't taking me. I was in complete denial, even though I could see my EKG looking worse by the minute. I even told them I thought their machine was malfunctioning and again demanded my bra and shirt back so I could go home. Well, finally, they sent a young woman in to talk to me. She held my hands, looked me in the eye, and said, "I can tell you are a person who is used to being in control. But if you want to live, now is the time you have to trust us. Let us be in control. And you need to let us do this right now." Her words, the touch of her hands, her eyes meeting mine were like magic. I could do nothing but surrender. In the cath lab, it was discovered that I was having a spontaneous coronary artery dissection known as a SCAD. A SCAD is an extremely uncommon heart attack that primarily happens to healthy, younger women. It is idiopathic, meaning it has no known cause. The interior lining of my left anterior descending artery had torn and become unraveled and was causing a blockage that is called a classic widowmaker heart attack. I was whisked off for open heart surgery for a cardiac bypass. I was repaired by a surgeon who was familiar with my rare condition, and I was later told that the surgical A-team had to be called in to assist him. As you can see, I lived. If you look up the odds for surviving the type of heart attack I had, they're not so good. Yet I lived. I was in the hospital only 3 days. My physical healing came rapidly, but again, I was left with the fear, the trauma, and anger at my body betraying me, and so many questions. Again, no one could tell me why this had happened to my heart or if it would happen again. Why have all these intense and mysterious things happen to my body before I even reached 50? Was the question I kept asking. Well, at this point, I apologized to my husband and I said, "I'm sorry. I think you got a lemon when you married me." And he said, "No, you're not a lemon. I think of you more like an expensive sports car. When you are running, you are fabulous in high performance. But when you break down, the repair is going to be complicated. You'll need an expert to fix you, and it's going to cost a lot of money." And I think that's probably true. Healing from my heart event challenged me the most, but I think I healed in a way that was more deep and complete than from my earlier health challenges. I reached out and connected with other women who had experienced cardiac dissections. I submitted my medical records to a research group and wrote a blog on my experience that I shared with the American Heart Association. And of course, I continue with my Yeti mantras. And here are some that I still use. I do not have logical answers as to why this happened to my heart, yet I can be with that uncertainty and mystery and know that I can also feel the peace of my being. I do not like the appearance of scars on my body, yet I can touch the scars and be grateful for the healing. I am cautious with my body and take care of it, mindful of what it has been through. Yet I know I am unlimited and powerfully healed to do what I need to do. I have lived through difficult times, yet I am the Yeti, the bear of rocky places, and I thrive. Our bodies are part of the physical earth and therefore imperfect. Our bodies throw us curveballs. They can agitate us. There are parts that are designed poorly. I don't know who did that, but there are knees especially. Sometimes it feels we have very little to work with. Still, we bravely navigate these physical ships as best we can for the time that we occupy them. Sometimes we need to use the very best medical technology to help us heal. Sometimes we find healing in traditional medicines and alternative healing. Always we need to find peace in our mind. There is something so beautiful and precious and hope-filled in this simple act of physical being. We are all in bodies in this room, or at least I think all of us are. I sometimes think we've got some friends from the past visiting, but most of us have bodies here. And I'd like to offer to you the Yeti mantras. If you feel comfortable with it, move your awareness to a physical part of your body that may be bothering you right now. Hear its pain and troubles, and then add a Yeti statement. You might try something like this. I am experiencing this health challenge, yet I am also whole, holy, a child of God. I went through a health crisis in the past, yet I am alive and well in this moment, and I am peace and welcome the healing energy of spirit. And now we'll move into meditation.
When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. I open my heart. When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. Hallelujah. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love, see only love. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love. Hallelujah.
And keeping your awareness on anything in your body that might be troubling you. Listen to these words by New Thought minister Joseph Murphy. Let's be still now. God is all, over all, through all, and all and all. The love, the light, the glory of the infinite animates and sustains you. The miraculous healing power which made you from a cell is now flowing through you, vitalizing, healing, restoring your whole being. God's healing love dissolves everything unlike itself in your mind and heart, and the peace of the everlasting God fills your soul, mind, and body in whatever your request is. Turn it over now to the deeper mind, full of wisdom and intelligence. It has the know-how, knows all, and sees all, and deposits it with faith and confidence. And realize that whenever you think of it, say, the God presence is taking care of it. The infinite intelligence is watching over it, bringing it to pass in its own way. And so it is.
Thank you. That was wonderful, Kim. Thank you. Now, as we move on into this very still, quiet space, moving into announcements, not quite still and quiet. Let's see, we have, as usual, a list. Today's prayer partner is, here we go, is right there, Jacqueline. She will be up front here for any prayer needs after service. So please avail yourself to that. Next, we have, we are in the process of getting our parking lot repaved and relined. What we're doing is, part of it is we're asking folks if they feel so led to purchase spaces, or $66 a space. I'm not sure what our count is. Reverend Pat has that, but we're making good progress. So if you feel so inclined, please, by all means, if you'd like to buy a space. And also, when you buy a space, it doesn't mean it's your private space. Just making that clear, okay? All right, so you're buying a space in the parking lot. All right. Next, we have upcoming workshop on self-hypnosis and script writing on Saturday, August 26th from 12:30 to 4:30. Sign up, I believe, is online, correct? Okay. I'm seeing some tentative shaking heads. So yes, online. So again, self-hypnosis and script writing workshop. That's the kind of workshop you kind of take stuff from too that you can use going forward. All right, good stuff. Next, we have affirmative prayer class with Barbara Kowalska from August 31st to September 7th in person. So August 31st, so 2 dates. I'm trying to figure out what day that is. I don't actually know. Thursday. See, this is great. Interactive. Okay. So 2 Thursdays with Barbara, and that's 6:30 to 8 o'clock. There's a $20 cost to that, nominal fee. Returning September 3rd is, for a long time, we had meditation in the morning here before service, and that's coming back. Jack is kind of organizing that for us. That's going to begin again on September 3rd, 9:30 meditation. So if you want some quiet, still time, please come and join us early for meditation. Men's group is back on Tuesday, September 5th by the illustrious Todd Glacy. That is, I think the first one is in person, but that's also online, details online for our men's group. Choir, Dina, so you want to talk about that?
Choir will be September 10th, and we'll meet here at 8:45. All are welcome.
All are welcome. That's the important thing. Tuesday, September 12th, coming up. Do you wonder what your pet is thinking? I have historically. What did you do that for? Anyways, so animal communicator Kat Taylor will be here from 6:30 to 8 on Tuesday, September 12th. Shanti Kirtan is back. I'm probably not saying that right. On the 22nd of September, Todd Glacy. We've had a couple of these. They're really well received. A lot of music, a lot of back and forth. It's everybody really enjoys it. So with Todd Glacy, Shanti Kirtan, back on the 22nd of September. Open mic on September 29th. That's once a month at 6. That's a Friday, right? Open mic on a Friday, September 29th. And again, as with the choir, all are welcome. Please bring your talents. Weekly morning meditation every morning with Barbara. Weekly Friday evening with Dina for, what's the Friday evening again, Dina, for the?
Sing along.
Sing along, that's okay. I didn't want to add words to it. I wasn't sure because it's not written on here. Monthly meditation, Leah Rush, on the third Thursday. These are all online. I'm saying all these now, but they're all online. Women's retreat, 2 nights coming up on October 27th to 29th. That's with Deb Engel. And the sort of overall thought process and title of that is We Are the Light, Let's Shine. October 27th to 29th. These are available out in the foyer. Any information? Any questions? Please let anyone know, Kim, myself, anybody. And actually, I read it on the bottom here. It says, Deb Engel, author of The Only Little Prayer You Need, Let Your Spirit Guides Speak. And that's a lot. I think that's it, though. All right. Very good. The daily word here. So now is the time for offering. Oh, Randy. That's awesome, thank you. Those of you who don't know, Unity, that's one of our outreaches, is we're actually very involved with the Unity, with the Fuller Housing. Reverend Pat is on their board currently. I've been on the board. Jim, are you on the board currently? Yep, Jim, you have been on the board. Okay, so there's a lot of involvement there, so by all means, take a peek at that on your way out. And now, so we have our offering, and when you come down, for those of you who are newer to this, the bowl, obviously, but also make sure you're taking an affirmation. And if you'd like to, too, you can take one of these cards and write like a peace statement on the card and put it into our year-long Christmas tree. Our year-long tree, lighted tree, that we use for different purposes throughout the year. And currently, it is our peace tree. Reverend Pat really likes that, by the way. We brought it up a couple times in our board meetings, but she really likes keeping it because she likes, what's the word for it, like multi-purpose. She multi-purposes it. She likes that, so. And other than that, let's go ahead and we can say our faith statement. That's a good statement, but not a faith statement for, here we go. Say it with me. Divine love flowing from me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the joy of giving.
While the offering's being taken, please join us in singing I Am Free, I Am Unlimited.
I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. are free, you are unlimited. Right now, right now. You are free, you are unlimited. There are no chains that bind you. You are free, you are unlimited. Right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now.
Thank you, Dina. All right, join me in blessing these tithes and offerings. We thank you these tithes and offerings go forth through the will and the work of Jesus through Unity Center for Spiritual Growth. Amen. And with that, we are now at the time for our peace song. Please stand and join me, join us, really join Dina.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as the one source, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
All right, now join me as we close with our prayer for protection. Say it with me. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And thank you all, and thank you to those online for joining us today. Thank you very much.